In other news this afternoon, the controversial issue of voter identification is up for debate in Raleigh this week. Supporters say it would prevent fraud at the polls, but opponents say fraud is rare and that the legislation discriminates against certain groups of voters. News 13's Frank Kracher is live at the Buncombe County Board of Elections. And Frank, who would be most affected by this?
Well, for some, the measure is meant to exclude those living here illegally or those trying to cheat the system by voting more than once. But this proposal likely boils down to more a matter of young and old. The voter ID bill would come into play on Election Day 2016, quite a ways off. But the impact is already being anticipated, and advocates for older North Carolinians don't like it.
We're already trying to get people to get groceries and get to the doctor. Do we have to try to get them now to the polls and then get their voter ID first and find a way to pay for it? I think that's a huge mistake.
Wendy Marsh runs the Council on Aging of Buncombe County. She notes there are many studies that show voter fraud is relatively rare. Marsh says she has clients who no longer have cars, driver's licenses, or even the $10 to pay for a state photo ID.
I just think that any kind of move that isn't necessary, that inhibits or disenfranchises a particular group of people from being able to vote is really needs a careful review.
Not only a responsibility and a privilege, but a pleasure not to have to worry about that kind of stuff. It is very easy, and I don't see the reason for it.
It seems like they're deliberately trying to code out certain types of voters.
On the other end of the spectrum are the youngest people who go to the polls. Students at schools like UNCA, where an ID from home could stop them from casting ballots on campus.
The convenience of location would just be taken away from us. And I feel that that's really unfair.
Some take it beyond the issue of convenience and see the GOP-backed voter ID proposal as purely political.
It definitely feels like they are pushing it right now to make this state highly conservative and cut out liberal voters who might try and push the legislature otherwise.
The voter ID bill still a work in progress. Changes are being made every day, but with Republican control in Raleigh, most are agreeing that some form of this is going to pass. Reporting live in Asheville, Frank Kracher, News 13.